Hello students, welcome to book page. So for today's class, it will be on MCQs based on modern Indian history. So first question for today, who was Deputy Governor of Bihar? Who was Deputy Governor of Bihar at the time of Mir Qasim? So it was Ram Narayan, who is a Deputy Governor of Bihar at the time of Mir Qasim. So, when Mir Qasim asked Ram Narayan, the Deputy Governor of Bihar, about uh, the accounts of revenues of Bihar, Ram Narayan did not responded to Mir Qasim because he has support from British officers. Okay. Second question, Battle of Buxar was fought between which forces? So it was fought between the combined armies of Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla, Shah Alam as against the Major Hector Munro at Buxar in 1764. So Mir Qasim, the Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Bihar, was not happy about the misuse of dastaks and firmans by the British East India Company. So, because of this fact, later the war or battle of Buxar take place. So, third question, consider the following statement about the battle of Buxar in 1764. First statement, Battle of Buxar, a result of war fought between Mir Qasim and company in 1763 over the matter of transit duty. Second statement, the combined armies of Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla, Shah Alam II was defeated by the Major Hector Munro. Third statement, after the battle, Mir Jafar was made Nawab. Fourth statement, the English were do do duty-free trade in Bengal except for the duty of 2% on salt. Fifth statement, the real power of administration was laid in the hands of Naib Subedar, who could be appointed or dismissed by the English. Sixth statement, as a result of war, the Treaty of Allahabad was signed in 1765. Choose the correct answer. So, in this question, all the given statements are right. Let's see. So, first statement is saying the Battle of Buxar was the result of war fought between Mir Qasim and company in 1763. So, Mir Qasim was not happy because of the misuse of dastaks. So, Britishers were basically misusing dastaks and they also selling these dastaks to Indian merchants on a commission basis, and they are also doing duty free trade, which is actually by that the actual local merchants are also facing the unequal competition with the company merchants. So because of all these reasons, Mir Qasim was not happy and he led the war, and in that war Mir Qasim fled to Awadh. So from Awadh he joined the armies of of Shah Alam, who is an emperor of Mughal emperor, and Shuja-ud-Dawla was a Nawab of Awadh. So he actually combined with these armies, and but also they got defeated by Major Hector Munro in Battle of Buxar in 1764. And after that battle, the Mir Qasim was defeated, so that in that battle Mir Jafar was made as a Nawab of Bihar, and English were permitted to do duty free trade, but they need to pay duty of 2% for only salt. And they later Even though Mir Jafar was made as a Nawab, but real power of administration was laid in the hands of Naib Subedar, who could be appointed or dismissed by the English at any time. And, and as a result of this war, the Treaty of Allahabad was signed in 1765. So Battle of Buxar was happened in 1764, and later to that battle, the Treaty of Allahabad was signed in 1765. Fourth question. Consider the following statement. Which among the given below are considered as Nizamat functions as per the Treaty of Allahabad in 1765? First, military or defense. Second, police. Third, administration of justice. Fourth, agriculture. Choose the correct answer. A. Only statement 1 and only first and second are correct. B. Only 1, 2 and 4 are correct. C. All except 4. And D. None of the above items are considered as Nizamat function. So answer for this question is all except 4. So Nizamat function as per Treaty of Allahabad are military or defense, police and administration of justice. And agriculture was not a Nizamat function. Next question. Treaty of Allahabad in 1765 was signed between whom? So Treaty of Allahabad in 1765 was fought between Robert Clive, and he basically concluded two treaties. One is with Nawab of Awadh, Shujauddaulah, and second is with Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. In Battle of Buxar, it was Robert Hector Munro who participated, but the Treaty of Allahabad was concluded by Robert Clive. So next question, consider the following statement about the Treaty of Allahabad. First statement, as per the treaty, Shujauddaulah surrendered the Allahabad and Kara to Emperor Shah Alam and pay rupees 50 lakh to the company as war indemnity, and also to give Balwant Singh, Zamindar of Banaras, a full possession of his estate. Second statement, Shah Alam II agreed to reside at Allahabad under the company's protection. Third statement, Shah Alam agreed to issue a firman granting the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar, Orissa to the East India Company in lieu of an annual payment of rupees 26 lakh and a provision of rupees 53 lakh to the company in return for Nizamat functions of the above provision. So in this question, all the given statements are basically right. So Robert Clive concluded two treaties. One is with Shujauddaulah and second one is with Shah Alam II. And in Shujauddaulah, he concluded this treaty with which included three basic conditions. So, as per this treaty, Shujauddaulah has to surrender Allahabad and Kara to the Emperor Shah Alam, and second condition, he has to pay rupees 50 lakh to the company as a war indemnity, and third condition, he has to give Balwant Singh, a Zamindar of Banaras, full possession of his estate. So, as per this treaty, the three conditions were agreed by Shujauddaulah, and in Shah Alam II's case, he agreed to reside at Allahabad under the company's protection, and he agreed to issue a firman granting the Diwani rights of Bihar, Bengal and Orissa to the East India Company with an annual payment of rupees 26 lakh and a provision of rupees 53 lakh to the company in return for Nizamat functions of the above provisions. So, Shah Alam II also need to pay rupees 53 lakh for the Nizamat functions provided by company in the provinces of Bihar, Bengal and Orissa. So, what are the Nizamat functions? They are basically three functions. One is military or defense, second one is police, and third one is administration of justice. So, Britishers will provide these three functions to the Nawab, these three functions to the Shah Alam, Emperor, and in return for this function he has to pay rupees 53 lakh to the company. Next question, what was the reason that Robert Clive did not want to annex Awadh? So after the Battle of Buxar, Treaty of Allahabad were concluded, but Robert Clive did not wanted to annex the Awadh at that time. And the reason for that, if he has annexed the Awadh, then he has to the then company will be under an obligations to provide protection to the Awadh from the Afghan and other Marathas. So he did not wanted to protect the Awadh from the Afghan and Marathas at that time. So Robert Clive did not wanted to annex the Awadh after the Battle of Buxar and in the Treaty of Allahabad. Next question, in which year did Hyder Ali became the de facto ruler of Mysore? In 1761, Hyder Ali became the de facto ruler of Mysore. So Mysore at that time Mysore was under the administration of Nanjaraja and Devarai. Nanjaraja and Devarai, and Mysore was basically facing many financial and political crises. So in 1761, Hyder Ali became the de facto ruler of Mysore. Next question, where did Hyder Ali set up an arms factory? Hyder Ali set up an arms factory at Dindigul, which is today's Tamil Nadu, and he took the help from French army. So Hyder Ali, with the help of French army, set up an arms factory at Dindigul. So this is all for today's class. If you like this class, then please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.